Good morning, friends. My name is Eli, and I'm a senior philosophy major, double minoring in business and design, and this is UNH. Before we get into all the details of the day, I think it's most important that we check in on both our physical and mental health. And for me, that means getting out into the woods, breathing fresh air, and getting some sunlight. UNH Health and Wellness also has a ton of really cool resources when it comes to taking care of yourself. They also do 2 weekly meetings, one on Monday and one on Wednesday, where they talk about mental health and tools for mental health. And the one today, which is Monday, is at 12:30. If anyone's interested, the link is in their bio. Here is a list of all the things I have been involved with at UNH. If you have any questions about those or other things at UNH or myself, you can ask them right here and I will give an answer. So why did I choose UNH? I actually chose UNH in a pretty roundabout way because in high school or at graduating high school, I didn't know if I wanted to go to college. So I took a gap year where I was in Germany interning with a bunch of. Throughout these internships, I really learned the value of getting a college education, and I also understood that I didn't necessarily have one specific thing I wanted to do, but had a much more broad scope of things I wanted to get into. And that is really why I ended up coming to UNH, because it has all these different options. It's a great environment. I just love being outdoors, so that was huge for me. And I had a lot of good friends family nearby, so that is why I ended up here. My favorite thing about UNH is probably its size. I love the fact that it feels big enough that you can always find new people, but also small enough that you're really part of a tight-knit community. Dang, coming in with a heater of a question. What is my greatest passion? I would guess I would have to say the idea of learning how to live life. Yeah, I think the coolest feeling ever is just when you feel like you personally have evolved in the way that you look at things and the way that you're able to do things. So I would say, yeah, just that general passion for what it means to be alive and experiencing this life to the fullest. Takeover Collaborative is a combination between the Sustainability Institute, Paul College of Business and Economics, and the Carsey School of Public Policy. Pretty much the whole goal with it is to empower students to do really cool work in the future by connecting students to really cool internship and educational opportunities such as Semester in the City, and all of the information to those programs and the applications for those can be found on our website. This is our website, so if you Google Changemaker Collaborative, you'll find yourself here. You can either check out our programs, you can learn about students who have done our programs, or you can come over to Let's Connect, where you can reach out to us. Here are all of the Changemaker coaches. There I am. And you can set up a meeting with any of us. Yeah. So I have a very afternoon-heavy schedule this semester, which is interesting. Usually I'm a better morning learner, but during the winter it's been cool because, when it's snowing outside, I just get to chill, take classes, and so I have a German class right now, and then a philosophy seminar right after that, and I'll keep answering some questions in between all those goodies. An RA is like having a bunch of siblings around all the time that you are trying to give anything you can to make their experience as good as possible, and it's a ton of fun. Shout out to all the current RAs. I was an RA before all of COVID kicked in, so I know that that's definitely a lot more stressful work for the time being, but just thank an RA for really taking the time to hold it down during this craziness, because they're giving a lot of love, so they deserve the love right back. Camp is a week-long extracurricular opportunity where you and a group of something like 50 other students head off to a campsite in the woods and do a bunch of self-growth type activities. My YouTube channel is called A New Dream, and I run it with a buddy who is also a UNH grad. The concept is that we are in search of better ways to live, and we take those tools and things we learn and share it with our audience. This is what the channel looks like. As you can see, we are slowly amassing a following. This is just a little welcome video talking all about what the channel's about and what you'll find here. And I highly suggest, if you've ever wanted to get into meditation, we just dropped a video yesterday, a beginner's guide, which is really everything we wish we had known 3 years ago when we started to meditate. Yeah, if you have any interest in anything like that, if that sounds cool, would really appreciate if you would go give it a peep. Yep. Boom. So yes, I have won some intramural shirts, but I've also played intramurals every single season throughout all 4 years of college. Highly suggest it to absolutely everyone, no matter what your skill level in a sport is. It's so much fun to get out and run around with friends, so highly suggest. It is not about the shirt, it's just about having a good time. The Seacoast is packed with awesome options for students. If you're looking for restaurants and shopping and music, I would suggest going direction Portsmouth or direction Kittery, Maine. If you're looking for music or more local restaurants, you got Dover, Newmarket, and downtown. Food-wise, a few of my buddies and my favorite spots to go is Hop and Grind and Balmy in downtown Durham. If you head over to Newmarket, the Oak House is a must-visit. Such good veggie burgers and stuff like that. And Dover is also packed full of good restaurants. So you got stuff right nearby, or if you want to take a bit of a trip, going to Portsmouth, of course, there is just a whole lot of lovely food options there. Music-wise, my favorite spot is just 15 minutes away. It's called the Stone Church. Tons of really cool local groups and also some groups that travel a good distance play there. But it's a very nice, just kind of fun, all-accepting atmosphere. Besides that, I've been to a few really cool shows in Portsmouth at the 3S Art Space. They do a lot of just art shows in general, but also nail it with music groups. If you guys know Lawrence, some really big bands come there. It's fire. Not to mention the fact that on an average year, UNH has 2 pretty massive concerts in the Whittemore Center and a few really cool music events around campus, such as the Solar Fest, where a van pulls up and solar powers an entire band. But personally, for someone who loves being outdoors all the time, the coolest thing for me is the fact that we are only 30 minutes away from the Seacoast and we are only an hour away from the White Mountains. So really, you just have so many great options. Most dorms do have a kitchen in them, but it depends on the student to RA to hall director relationship if the students have enough respect to keep the kitchens clean. And also, of course, there's a lot of students in a dorm, so I would not bank on being able to cook every night for yourself. If you want to do that, though, there are on-campus apartments and off-campus apartments where you have your own kitchen. But the dining halls at UNH are also excellent. My dream after graduating is to be full-time with YouTube, making educational content, and then hopefully getting more and more into the education side of things and talking about holistic living. I saved this question for last because I think it is the most important question we can all ask ourselves, because what is a life if you don't feel alive while living it? For me, the absolute best feeling is when you have your mind blown. Like when you learn something or you finally understand something, or you and another person have a really deep connection and you just feel this huge expansion inside your chest. And I really think that is what I'm shooting for with every day of my life. So I challenge you to ask yourself what makes you feel alive and to chase that, because this world doesn't need people who are just trying to do things and do them fast. It needs people who feel really alive. So yeah. And with that, I will be calling it a night. So thank you so much for coming along for the ride today. It was super fun reflecting on some times at UNH and answering questions. I hope all of you are safe, healthy, and making the best of current situation. And yeah, hope to see you around campus and hope you do some cool things with your life. So much love.